Peace guys, it is Spooky Noodles, and I am here with a book review for Skinzz by James White. I actually said his name right this time. Yeah, this book was pretty good. I give it 5 stars, so you can tell already that I enjoyed this book thoroughly. But let me read off what I posted on Facebook, and you guys can get a little. Well, first let me read the back of the synopsis, back of the book for the synopsis. So then you guys can get a taste of what this book's about, and then I'll give you my review and my take on what the book's about, and then you guys can go from there. Alright, mosh pits have become a war zone. The hardcore punk scene in 1980s Philadelphia was legendary, and Mac and Jason were at the center of it all, going to shows and fighting Nazi skinheads. In the streets there was a new gang, the Unrest. They started as a shitty hardcore band, but became a center of those filled with hate and rage. The Unrest are here to clean the city of the queers and lesser races. Fighting is no longer enough for Mac and Jason. Their enemy is becoming too strong and too eager to inflict the worst kinds of pain and death. To get the streets back, they must be willing to go further than ever before. Now they must be willing to kill. From modern master of hardcore horror, James White, comes a novel of street-level violence, hardcore punk, and the passion of friendship. So that's what Skinzz is about. This was a really good book. Let me just read what I wrote on Facebook here while I hold this up. The story is about Mac, a 6-foot-plus monster of a man. He goes to concerts, kicking skinheads' asses and pulverizing Nazi scum like nobody's business. The story also follows a group of kids that are part of a movement developed by a band called the Unrest. They do terrible acts, like torching an old black lady in the subway. Their racist movement leads Mac and his friend Demon, Jason, to learn that beating up skinheads isn't enough. They might have to kill in order to bring peace to their ghetto. So I give this story 5 stars for its amazing narrative. The characters were great, obviously, and the setting was cool. Overall, I love this book. Mac is one of my favorite flawed but badass characters in fiction. Let me redo that. Mac is one of my favorite flawed but badass fictional characters I've read about since RJ from Knuckle Sucker. Let's try that one more time. Mac is one of my favorite flawed but badass fictional characters I've read about since RJ from Knuckle Supper. I enjoyed this book a lot and would recommend James White to anyone looking for a ass-kicking book about racism. Sorry for that really bad reading of what I wrote. This was a great story to read for Black History Month. I enjoyed it a lot. I give this book 5 stars, like I said before. It starts off really cool. You get a little taste of what it's about with the prologue, and ever since then it just gets rolling. It's just one constant roll of just awesomeness. It's an amazing book. It's only like 188 pages long, I believe. Yeah, 188 pages long, and I enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, there's not much more to say other than how amazing this was. I enjoyed it a lot. Mac's character was just phenomenal. He was flawed, but he had a lot of charismatic I can't talk today or think today. He had a lot of character, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. He felt like he was really fleshed out, and his friend was really cool too. I was really sad at the end of the book, and I won't say why, but things happen. And good things happen. So it's like a really bitter, like a mixed feeling ending. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And there's not much more to say other than how great Wrath James White is at writing. He is what I'm trying to achieve with my books. I want to get to where he is with my writing, and yeah. Tell me, guys, if you've read anything by Wrath James White. Tell me if you've read this book in particular. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you disliked it. Tell me if you don't like Wrath James White. Tell me if you do like him. To me, I'm going to read more books by him because this book in particular was really good. It's a new favorite of mine. Not my most favorite book of all time, but it's up in the top 5 for sure. Which is hard because to make it into the top 5, usually you have to be a coming of age story. But this one, I liked it a lot. It is kind of a coming of age between two friends, but they're much older. They're in their 20s, so not really. So, but I like this book. I think you guys should check it out. Without further ado, we have reached the end of the video. I hope you guys had a good day. I hope you have a spooky night. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, guys. Whoop.
Now I am become death, the destroyer.